The boy stood on the burning deck, picking his nose like mad. He rolled them into little balls and flicked them at his dad. Hello, YouTube. I'm here. I forgot to go on Friday. Well, I did and I didn't. I made a video. I ballsed it up a bit. I don't know how to shave over that. That's the weather. That's made my beard grow. We're going to have to have a shave in the morning. Get the one blade on it. Right. So, just let's pretend it's Friday, 28th, because I just need to put into my thing here for the feature coming up later, because I'm having to redo this now. It's Sunday night, but we'll pretend it's Friday night. So I hope everyone's having a good Friday night. You're having a bop and a rave. I've not been out all weekend. I've been in like a hermit. Right, let me put in here. Because there's a lot of things that happened on June the 28th. I want to do them later. Right, that's that done. Right, so we've got a bit of a pack show. I was going to do on the eBay side of it, eBay rules, but to go through every eBay rule, I'll still be on this video next Friday. You know, it's going to take weeks. So we'll do it segment by segment. Now, when I did the first video, I did adult items, but I need to look through that a little bit more thoroughly before I just start talking off the cuff about it. So I deleted that video because, you know, I don't want to go to jail. Right, so we'll do that another time. So tonight we're going to do rules on used clothing. Let's see what the rules are, but we'll do that later. I'm going to do an update of my figures. I'm going to do my Churchill quote. I've got a Disraeli quote. If anybody doesn't know, Benjamin Disraeli was a Victorian Prime Minister. Got on very well with the royals. One of his sayings, not the saying I'm going to do later, was always use flattery, but with royalty, lay it on with a trowel. He was really big with Queen Victoria. She loved him. He used to butter her up, and he could get away with it. He had her over a barrel. Not literally over a barrel. You know, it wasn't a sexual relationship. He just got on well with her. And once he got called to a tender, and he wasn't in the mood to go. And one of his members of staff says, "Oh, the Queen wants to see you." He says, "Oh, I can't be bothered. She'll only want me to pass a message on to Albert." Because obviously she's like the famous widow, wasn't she? Queen Victoria. So we're going to do that. The few quotes. Got a couple of poems. Nighttime themed poems. Because as you can see, it's dark in the hovel. Midnight is the hour where churchyards yawn and all hell lets loose. I've got ghosts in here anyway, so I'm not bothered. That picture up there, as you can see up there, I'll show you that one day. That's my good luck talisman. You know, like they have at the Tower of London where they say the ravens will fly away. Well, I call her Spooky Girl, but Edward said it's a boy, but it's got a dress on, so I call her Spooky Girl. And when my sales are bad, and when other resellers will vouch for this, who I spoke to, I've got Spooky Girl out, and they've got sales. I've said, I've had a word with Spooky Girl, she's going to get you some sales, and it's happened. Just ask Mrs. M about Spooky Girl. She'll vouch for me on that. Right. And also she'll vouch for me on bacon, tomato sauce, pickled onion and mustard sandwiches. My invention, that. Right. And if Caroline's watching, I hope you're well, Caroline. I watched your last video and I really enjoyed it. Anyone who watches me who doesn't know Caroline Mrs. M, you're missing a treat if you don't watch her. She's good. Just gets a Ken Chapman seal of approval. Right. So, we're going to do the sales first. So it was week 5. Now, I've got to watch myself with this because I keep saying, no, we're not going to do the sales. I forgot. It's a no beer update. I've been in all weekend. I've not bought any alcohol-free beer. But I've got a fridge in my room now. I forgot to tell you about that, didn't I? I had a big problem with the main fridge downstairs, the fridge freezer. As a lot of you probably know, my dad's got dementia. And he gets into doing these little sort of like things that he shouldn't be doing really. With fridges and stuff. And microwaves and that. So we have to lock the kitchen door now for safety's sake. And we have to take the fuses out of plugs just in case. Well, he had this habit of leaving the freezer door open. And we've got a frost-free freezer. Samsung, it was a nice freezer, nothing wrong with it. But we ended up with not a frost-free freezer, we ended up with an iceberg freezer. This big massive iceberg, because obviously the door was open, it defrosted slightly, and it sucked in all the moisture out of the air, and suddenly we ended up with this big iceberg. And that's affected the performance of the fridge. The fridge isn't working properly, and it went off last Saturday, so I had to go out and buy an emergency fridge, throw all the food out because I didn't realise that it happened overnight, buy some food. So I bought one of those little beer fridges, you know, the little Budweiser beer fridges. I think they're called Husky. I think it's a Husky. Anyway, it's over there now, so I've got all my water and everything in there, which the weather it is at the moment, it's lovely. So we're on non-alcohol beer. Obviously I don't drink alcohol anymore, but I do like a beer, so the non-alcohol beer is brilliant. But I do used to like my energy drinks, you know, the Monster and that, but it's full of so many chemicals, so I decided to stay off that. Because of my nasal polyps, it wasn't doing them any good, all that aspartame and, you know, sugar substitutes and what have you. And I like to try and keep a low sugar diet if possible. So, you know, I can't drink the artificial sweeteners because I think I'm allergic to them. So I've gone for the more natural stuff. And I'm on this energy drink. I don't know if any of you have tried it. It's called Tenzing. Obviously, after Sherpa Tenzing, one of the guys who helped, is it Edmund Hillary climb Everest? Natural energy. Purely from plants. Nice. It is quite nice, actually. And it's got in it, this is all that's in it, Himalayan rock salt. Did they need to do that? Start digging up Everest or somewhere in the Himalayas to get the rock salt out? I don't know. But anyway, it's got Himalayan rock salt in it, which is a bit pretentious if you ask me. Just let me have a look at the rest of it. I need to get the light on this. Indian gooseberry. Now, I'm all for environmentalism. We could have got gooseberry local, but no, it has to be Indian gooseberry because it's the Himalayan theme, of course, and the Hindu Kush at the top of the Himalayas there is part of India and Pakistan. Lemon juice, green coffee. Now I haven't got a clue what green coffee is. I presume it's raw beans, is it, that haven't matured? I'm not sure. Guarania. Now I have heard of that before. Sounds a bit like thingy, doesn't it? Uvavu. Do you remember that on Shooting Stars? Iranu. What's Guaranu? Yeah. Green tea and beet sugar. So it's sugar from sugar beet, which I think a lot of refined sugar comes from either cane or sugar beet. So 48 calories a can, so it's not too bad. It's all natural, 250ml. It's supposed to be a natural energiser. So we'll just crack one open. It's lovely and cold because it's just come out of the fridge. That's not bad. That's okay. Even with my knackered taste buds, that tastes alright. Right. So let's go over the figures. Because it's the figures that matter, isn't it? It keeps our vanity count up. You know, that big turnover. Turnover's vanity. Never going to let anyone forget that who said that. Right. So, it was another good week. £2,489. Averaging £355 a day. So I'm happy with that. So I've been back from hospital exactly 5 weeks. Week 1, 2,092. Week 2, 2,052. Week 3, 2,470. week 4 2,408, and week 5 2,489. So that in the 5 weeks is 11,501. Quite consistent, so I'm happy with that. Now, it's still not where we want to be, obviously, but we're getting up there. It's starting to creep up there. It's going to be a slow creep, but it will creep up to that £500 a day. But £355 a day average, I'm quite happy with that at the moment. Listed stock. Well, when I came back, I keep trying to say from my holidays or from prison. I was in hospital. I don't know why I keep saying that. Prison or holidays. You can tell I've had brain surgery because it just slips in or slips out. Anyway, listed stock. We had, I think we had 43,000. No, yeah, we had 44,000 items on at the time. We had gone as high as 46, but obviously while I was away, that started running down because we do sell about 1,000 items a month. And we had £313,000 worth at retail listed. Now we have got 336,000 listed at retail, so that's 23,000 thereabouts. Yeah, 23,148 in net value put on. And we've also got the 11,511 in sales in the same period. So I've actually listed 34,659 pounds worth of stock in 5 weeks. So I'm happy with that. It's been a lot of the higher end stuff that I've been listing. We're starting at the top and working our way down because we've got a lot of the lower value stuff, but we want to try and put the higher value stuff on first, get that selling through, and then we'll start feeding the lower value stuff as we go along. But I could confidently say we've probably got £500,000 worth of stock when it's all listed. Easily that. There is a lot of stock here. Thousands and thousands of items that have not been done. So over 35 days, which is the 5 weeks, 5 times 7 is 35, we've averaged 67 listings a day going on, and that's been £1,018 worth a day going on. So it's all going in the right direction. I'm happy that you know, the work is paying off, and it is proof because the weeks before, in the early part of May, we were averaging about £1,500–1,600 a week because nothing had been listed. So this is proof. I mean, you know, it's not just like if it was 1 or 2 weeks, yeah, but 5 weeks now of sustained growth. We are going to have a bad week somewhere along the line. That's going to happen. That always happens. But you can list your way out of trouble, folks. It's one thing you need to consider. If you've got back stock, just get it on. Don't worry about the insertion fees. Just get that stock listed and then evaluate your business from there. So that's it. So that's all that done. That's the take-ins gone. Right, so what we're going to do next? We're going to do a poem, aren't we? First of all, we've got to do the John Cooper Clarke. And I said, it's nighttime themed show. So, what have we got? Well, we've only got John Cooper Clarke's Night People. And I'm one of them. I'm a night person. I come awake at night. It's years of driving taxis during the night and picking knobheads up at 3 o'clock in the morning, taking them to McDonald's and stuff like that, has made me into a night person. Right, so here we are, Night People. It's not too long. I'm not going to bore you. Well, I am going to bore you. I always bore you, don't I? But, you know, this is going to be slightly less painful for you than some of the utterings that come out of my mouth. Right. Oh, and we've got to name that tune, haven't we? But I've not put them up. I'll have to just do it off the top of my head. Oh, God. Forgot about that. Right. So, Night People. It goes, quite a party we have found, Mantovani flooding the lounge, people, crazy feet, night people, funky but neat. Burt Bacharach, a zillion strings, cool aromatic luxury surroundings, see no evil, cheat sheets, night people, funky but neat. Mr. Cavendish meets Elizabeth, what happens is none of my business, quite legal, short and sweet, night people, funky but neat. Stereo headphones, whisper and shout, invisible saxophones fade in and out, like treacle, tacky but sweet, night people, funky but neat. Twilight restaurants, you get it on a plate, no matter what you got, but you've got to wait. Don't get the needle and never speak, night people, funky but neat. I like nightlife, give me danger, I had a nice wife, she was a stranger. One of the people I never meet, night people, funky but neat. Quite a party we have found, Maseratis, Afghan hounds, the right people, the wrong street, night people, funky but neat. It's quite a nice little poem, that. Quite like that. Sets the mood, doesn't it? Right. What's the next thing? Churchill one-liner. Bit of a classic. Nothing in life is so exhilarating as to be shot without result. So we like getting shot as long as it didn't kill him. He was happy about that. Disraeli one-liner. Like all great travellers, I've seen more than I remember, and I remember more than I've seen. Obviously he exaggerated about his holidays. Good job we didn't have a job on TripAdvisor, isn't it? Right, Oscar Wilde one-liner. True friends stab you in the front. Well, that must be me, because I say it as it is. Unfortunately, it does upset people. I'm just going to do my name that tune now. Just let me type this in. I don't want any dead air. Right, there's the first one. Let me click that in. Where are we? Diddly-did-dee-dee. There, we got it. Right. Now, as you know, with these, I have to sing them in my poor voice. What are we looking for now? What's the other one? God, I forgot the name of him. Oh, yeah. No. So, give you a tune there by saying him, haven't I? Well, I could be trying to trick you there. Could be a double bluff, that. Right. So, we've got two songs. One a rock classic. And the other one, an 80s electronic classic, if I can find it. Can't find it. Where's it gone? Ah, there it is. Not highlighted, you know. Right. So, name that tune. I'm not going to change any lyrics. I'm going to read the lyrics off the song sheets. So I'm not going to do my usual trick where I put different lyrics in, or I put rude lyrics in, or anything like that. I'm going to do theirs. So, going home late last night, suddenly I got a fright. Yeah, I looked through the window, surprised when I saw a fairy with boots dancing with a dwarf. Alright now, I've changed the tune there. I've just given you the lyrics as in there. So guess that, guess the band, guess the year, guess the lineup. Now obviously I'm going to tell you at the end, but it's just a bit of fun. Right. Now the next one, 80s electronica. Sunday morning going slow, I'm talking to the radio. Clothes and records on the floor, the memories of the night before. Out in clubland having fun, and now I'm hiding from the sun. Waiting for a visitor, though no one knows I'm here for sure. Dancing, laughing, drinking, loving, and now I'm all alone in. Name that tune. That is easy. So actually here we've got a bit of a theme going on, haven't we? Night people. Video's done at night. It's dark. It's ghostly. I've got an energy drink because it's late at night. First lyrics there, as we said. Going home late last night. Night time. I don't just throw this stuff together, you know. It's thought out. I didn't tell you I'm working on a poem, aren't I? A day in the life of a takeaway rapper. But it's up here, it's all jumbled up at the moment. But it's going to be good. But I'll do that another week. And then, the other song lyrics. Sunday morning going slow. Memories of the night before. Night out. Night time. And the last poem later on is a gothic classic. True gothic classic. Very, very difficult to read. And it's being read by an idiot. So strap yourselves in, folks. It'll be disastrous. Right, so now we'll do the eBay stuff. So I know I mess about on here, but on eBay I do take it very, very seriously. I can't help it. I'm an eBay fanboy. I've loved eBay. eBay's been good to me. They've provided me with a good income. Obviously I've had to work for it, but they've built me a business. Their platform, I love it. I know there's other platforms and people do other stuff. Fair enough, that's no problem. But I just love eBay, you know. And I'm very, very careful on what I do. Because it's so easy to get pulled up on there by listing items that you shouldn't list. Or you've got the Veros as well, which is listing trademark items that you're not allowed to list. And then you've got the selling off of eBay rules. There's loads and loads of rules, which we'll go through in depth, one by one, and item by item over the next few weeks, because I think we need to do a comprehensive documentation of this. And also, you need to bear in mind, if you watch this video in a few years' time, which you probably won't, because, you know, you'll be watching something else then. Be watching some robot cook stuff or something like that, or Andrew Nolan might have actually become interesting and you're all watching him, you know. Of course you'll still be watching all the professionals, you know, Nick and Andrea and here and all the real people who do it properly, you know. But I'm talking about, like, you know, the amateurs like me. Probably be Andrew Nolan, won't it? Mind you, I haven't learned how to edit by then. Anyway, yeah. And hi Andrew, if you're not watching. Hope it's alright up there in Wrexham. You know, don't go looking for woolly jumpers, as usual. Summer. Right, yeah, so, the rules. Let's click onto the rules. I've got it all here set up, if I can find it. So today, we're going to do, because a lot of you sell clothing, and eBay have a used clothing policy. So let's have a read of it. We have a used clothing policy, so buyers can be confident they will get clean, stain-free items when they buy on eBay. Now I don't know, I know that Andrea steams all her clothes. I don't know what the other clothing sellers do, because I don't really watch it. I only really listen to Nick and Andrea, you know, on that sort of stuff. And I have it on in the background when I'm listing and stuff. And I know that I did hear her mention that she steams everything, so she gets it all nice before it goes out, which really is probably the way you should do it, because, you know, you want it to go out as presentable as it possibly can be. And eBay have recognised this, and they're saying, we have used item policy, so buyers can be confident they get clean, stain-free items when they buy on eBay. So obviously they don't want you selling anything with stains on it, so I should imagine that'll be underarm stains, crotch stains, you know, bodily fluid stains, let's put it there. So Monica Lewinsky couldn't sell a dress on eBay, it'd be against policy, that, because it had a big stain on it, didn't it, right up here somewhere. Old Bill. Health and hygiene is also one of our top priorities, so our policy outlines why certain items can't be sold on the site. What kind of used clothing can I sell? aside from underwear, so you can't sell used underwear. Now, again, you look on eBay, all this stuff that you're not allowed to sell, somebody will be selling it. But us lot, as professional eBay sellers, or want to be professional eBay sellers, if you're just starting out, you've got to stick to this. It's very important. They're checking up on this all the time. So, aside from underwear, you can't sell used underwear. I know you get some of them sexy women on there, or they think they're sexy women, prancing around a pair of panties and then selling them. That is a no-no. And to me, that is an unprofessional seller, really, who'd do something like that. None of us would do that. Socks. Now, I never knew you couldn't sell used socks, because there is people on there who sell to the sort of like the fetish community, smelly socks and smelly shoes and stuff. Well, you can't sell used socks. So again, those guys and girls that are doing that, they're playing with fire. Eventually they'll get shut down, then another one will spring up. But they're all doing it, but they shouldn't be doing it. So no underwear, no socks, and some athletic garments. Now I should imagine that'll be like those tight athletic shorts and stuff like that. So it's somewhere where sweat and grime and possibly bacteria, dirty bacteria is going to get on. Because a lot of the people who do the athletics with the shorts, they don't wear any underwear, they just pull them tight shorts on, like cycle shorts. I don't know whether it is cycle shorts. I'm going to go into the full policy in a minute, so it'll tell us in there. What do I need to keep in mind when selling used clothes? Make sure you clearly state in your listing that the item is used. And avoid any adult content in the listing. Now, yesterday when I went through the adult policy, you cannot put the word fetish in any clothing advert. That is against eBay rules to put fetish. Now, I know there's the dinner lady fetish. Obviously, there's a shoe fetish. There's probably a fetish for everything, isn't there? You know, because there's some pervs out there, isn't there? Not like us. Not, you know, not proper people. I know we're up at night, but we're not all pervs like that, are we? Well, I'm not anyway. Don't know about you lot. So let's read the full policy. Right, here we are. We've got the full policy. Used clothing policy overview. Used clothing, except underwears and socks, can be listed on eBay as long as it has been cleaned according to the manufacturer's instructions, is stain-free and does not include adult or inappropriate content within its listing. So if you put like bare bum leather spanking pants, you know, peep-toe rubber fetish wellies, you can't have that. Thigh-length dominatrix boots, you're not going to be able to do it. What else can I think of? I don't know. PVC girdles or something like that with open crotch zip. Yeah, no, can't have that. That's just off the top of my brain damaged head, that. Right, so let's see what the guidelines details what you can and can't list. Make sure the following guidelines, if it doesn't, it may be removed and your buying and selling privileges will be restricted. That reminds me of Pulp Fiction, that. Do you remember Pulp Fiction? What was it called? It was about the watch. You know, Bruce Willis and the watch, and he goes into that pawn shop, doesn't he? And it's got the two guys in there, the gimp and that. And his boss comes in, the big black guy comes in, and they've got them both tied up with a ball. And anyway, he manages to escape, and he gets him out. And I can't remember what the name of the guy was because it's just come off the top of my head. And he goes to Bruce Willis, says, "Right then, you can leave. I'm not going to come after you. I'm not going to kill you, but all your LA privileges have gone." Well, it's exactly the same on here. You know, all your privileges could be restricted. So let's go to the restricted clothing. Most used clothing, shirts, trousers, dresses, etc., as long as the seller states that the item is used and that it's cleaned according to manufacturer's instructions. So you should really put that in your description. Just leave it on every one of your descriptions, then just add the rest of it in before it. The following items, as long as there's no inappropriate content in the listing or any indication that the item was worn as underwear. So you can sell these, but you can't sell them if there's any indication that the item's been worn as underwear. So a picture of your missus wearing it, you're dicey with death. You're not even supposed to show pictures of your wife or girlfriend on eBay, actually, by the way. That came up in the adult material, which I couldn't understand, but you can't show pictures of people that you're actually in a relationship with. Don't ask me why, because I haven't got a clue. So, the following items, as long as there's no inappropriate content, so, you know, bathing suits. So, yeah, if you're going to sell a bathing suit, you can do that, there's no problem with that, but it's got to be clean, it's got to be stated as used, it's got to be stated as stain-free, and you've probably got to photograph it on a mannequin. Even if you've got the best figure in the world, like me, you know, don't model it, whatever you do, because that could be taken as being inappropriate, you know. Lingerie. Oh, my girlfriend, sorry, not my girlfriend, my ex-partner, when I first started going out with her, she thought that was lingerie. Lingerie. Oh, come round, Ken, I've got some new lingerie. Oh, it's lingerie, not lingerie. Anyway. See, I didn't said it myself then, because that's like that thing, isn't it? You know, where you go, silk, 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 what do cows drink? Milk. No. Haha, it's water. They make milk. It's one of them, isn't it? Right, lingerie that does not come into contact with the genitals. So obviously you can't sell panties, G-strings, thongs, even teddies. Not teddy bears, teddy suits. You can't have any of them. So you can sell bras, bustiers, negligees and camisole tops. You can sell pantyhose or tights, but again they have to be used and stain free. Spandex, you know, so if you're a member of a Kiss tribute band, but you get a bit fed up with the old spandex pants, you can stick them on. You can stick them on eBay, as long as they're stain free, and you say they're used. The following items, as long as there's no inappropriate content in the listing. Shoes. Now the inappropriate content, because I've looked at the adults only category for this, is shoes where the shoe is displayed with part of the foot outside of the shoe. So you know that sexy thing that they sometimes do in the photos where it's just like dangling on the toes, you can see the arch of the foot and the heel and a little bit of the ankle and that. You can't do that, not allowed, because of the shoe fetish thing. And again, you can't put fetish in the title if you're selling shoes. So that knackered, worn out shoes listing thing, it is a little bit dodgy. You know, I wouldn't get involved in it. I mean, I don't sell clothing anyway, but you know, just a word of warning there. And also, I don't think with the shoes you can wear them with a pair of stockings on and show like the top of the stockings. I think that's out of order as well. I don't think you're allowed to do that. And then restricted vintage undergarments. You can sell them as long as they are not modelled or recently worn. So if you're going to do a Dita Von Teese and take a photograph of yourself wearing some cone bras and a pair of French knickers with frilly backs, you can't do that. You've got to stick it on the mannequin. You know, it might spoil your enjoyment. You fellas out there, you'd like to wear that, a bit of that, wouldn't you? Some of you. I know what you like. Right, these are items that are not allowed Definitely not allowed. Now, there's some of these, it's obvious. Not allowed. Used undergarments, including but not limited to. That means that they could add things later. Athletic supporters, so basically jock straps, cricket boxes, things for supporting a man's undercarriage while he's doing athletic pursuits. Briefs. Well, that's underpants or knicker. No, briefs. That's underpants, isn't it? Boxer shorts. You can't sell used boxer shorts. Children's size underwear, obviously. Can't sell any of that. Cloth nappies. You cannot sell second-hand cloth nappies. On eBay, they don't allow it. Jock straps. Now, I think that's similar to the athletic supports in it, or is that for people who've got like a hernia or something? No, it's not. It's some sort of athletic. They wear them in America, don't they? Because they call that the athletes' jocks, don't they? Jock straps. Swim nappies. So, again, that comes into the nappies category. Teddies. Now, I mentioned teddies before. I said you won't be able to list them. Well, you can't, because obviously they come into contact. I've got a little bit of a runny nose. It's not with polyps, it's just a bit of hay fever, I think. Right, yeah, so swim nappies. So obviously anything to do with children and nappies, you can't sell. Obviously for hygiene purposes, it's, that's what, most of this is to do with hygiene. Some of it's to do with, perversions, but most of it's hygiene. So teddies, well, everyone knows what a teddy suit is, isn't it? It's the all-in-one suit, top and bottom, that it usually pops open at the crotch area. So it's a piece of underwear. You can't sell those, even if they're clean and washed. You can't sell them. Thongs. Now in Australia, for all my Australian viewers, you call thongs your flip-flops, don't you? You can sell them. Don't worry about that. Got a nice pair of thongs there. No, you can sell them. But thongs over here are basically what people of my age used to call a G-string. It's a thong now. I was partly responsible for bringing those into fashion, because I used to always insist in the 80s that my girlfriends wore thongs, and they weren't in then. But I liked them. I like to see the heel. I'm a bit of a bum man. So, and they took off after that. So, you heard it here, king of the thongs. Right, so yeah, thongs. I never wore myself. I'm talking about on a woman. They look good. Or I thought they did. When I was younger. When I was a bay magnet. Now I'm just a blob. Right, yeah, so thongs, you can't sell thongs. Panties, same as thongs. And socks, you cannot sell used socks. Yet you can sell used tights. I'm not too sure about that, why there's a difference there. You can sell, they call them pantyhose, but you can sell those as long as they're clean, but you can't sell used socks. Any used clothing item with content eBay finds inappropriate, eBay would consider the overall content of listings, including description and images, when making this assessment. Why does eBay have this policy? We require our buyers and sellers to follow all laws and government health codes. So obviously it's mostly health and hygiene, this. And to list items in an appropriate manner. For health and hygiene reasons, we don't allow the sale of used underwear. We don't allow items that are adult or inappropriate in nature. So that's like all your fetish wear and stuff like that. So like I say, stay clear of the keyword fetish. So that's our first look at brief look. Clothing, get it? Brief look at the underbelly of the eBay rules system. We'll maybe go on to something different next week. Now, some of these eBay rules are a little bit difficult to talk about, but we're going to have to go through it in an adult and professional nature, because as eBay sellers, we all need to be au fait with these rules and make sure that everything that we list follows their rules to the T. Either that or don't sell on eBay, basically. And they're all there for a reason, and you know, we have to adhere to that reason. But the most thing that you need to do if you're selling used clothing, obviously here, is make sure you clearly state in your listing the item is used. Now obviously this is a used box, but I would put it in the description as well. And you've got to put something about it's been cleaned, didn't you? Use policy. Yeah, you've got to say that it's stain free and clean, it says somewhere. You can list any clean, stain free used clothing. So you must clearly state that the item is used, and also avoid any adult contents. So that's that. Most used clothing, as long as the seller states that the item is used and that it's cleaned according to manufacturer's instructions. So I don't know whether all of you wash your stuff when you get it from the shops, charity shops, but to me that means clean it. They don't want you to put stuff on there dirty. You're contravening the rules. You might not get caught, you could get caught, but is it worth the risk? No, it's not. And also, if you want to be a professional seller, you want to do things properly. This isn't somewhere where you can cut corners. You want to cut corners, just buy cheaper envelopes or cheaper boxes, or maybe, you know, get a printer instead of writing stuff out by hand like we've done. You know, I've been telling people for years I should have got a printer, but we finally got one. So that's it for eBay. So we've only got 2 more things to do. On this day, June the 28th, well, it's not really, it's July the 1st now, but it should be June the 28th because it's a Friday show. June the 28th, let's go and find out what happened. Yeah, there was a few very important things I spotted here. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria, Ferdinand, not Ferdinand, like I just said. Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophie were assassinated in Sarajevo. This led to the World War I. Well, we all know about Franz Ferdinand. The famous bands named themselves after Franz Ferdinand, and he was the guy who was killed, and all the pacts that all the countries had together made sure that the World War I ensued, because they all started declaring war on each other, and then other countries were backing other countries, and you know, it was a nightmare. But I didn't know it was on this day, obviously. Now, this is the one that got me here. 1919. The Treaty of Versailles is signed, ending the state of war between Germany and the Allies of World War I. Now, you'll find on some World War I memorabilia, it will say 1914 to 1990, but the common perception of World War I is that it's 1914 to 1918, and that was when the Armistice Day was on the 11th hour, the 11th day, 11th month. But the war was still officially on, even though nobody was killing each other. It might have been in the desert somewhere or somewhere else in the world, but on the Western Front, at least. But the war didn't officially end till June the 28th, 1919, when the Treaty of Versailles was signed. That brought the end of World War I. So, the 2 named that tunes. The first one, only Black Sabbath. Sabbath, to the knowers. Sabbath. Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, and Ozzy Osbourne, original lineup. 1970 or 71, I think that one was, and it's Fair Is Wear Boots. Fair is wear boots, and you gotta believe me. I swear I saw it with my own eyes. Something like that. I went to the doctor, and what did he say? Son, you've gone too far, smoking and drinking, or something like that. Anyway. Oh yeah, and on this day, 1926, I forgot about this one, Mercedes-Benz is formed. Yeah. When Gottlieb Daimler and Carl Benz merged their 2 companies. So we had Daimler and we had Benz before that. They joined and became Mercedes-Benz. and one of them had a daughter called Mercedes, and that's why they called it Mercedes-Benz. The second song, Soft Cell, Mark Almond, can't remember what the other guy was called, the one who used to do the keyboard. Bedsitter. So I'm all alone in Bedsitter, my only hope. Yeah, so that's Bedsitter. Right. So that's that. We've done the name of that tune. We've done On This Day. We've got one thing left. Gothic poem extraordinaire. If I can find it. Be prepared for a ghostly, deathly poem about death called The Sleeper, published in 1831, written by Edgar Allan Poe, horror writer, Gothic horror writer. Now this is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for me to read. I'm probably going to fuck it up, but never mind. It's that time of night and I want to finish with something deep, meaningful and gothic. I've noticed here, when it's all dark like this, I look like Holly off Red Dwarf, don't I? Anyway, let's move on. At midnight in the month of June, I stand beneath the mystic moon. An opiate vapour, dewy dim, exhales from out her golden skin, and softly dripping drop by drop upon the quiet mountain top, steals drowsily and musically into the universal valley. The rosemary nods upon the grave, the lily lolls upon the wave, wrapping the fog about its breast, the ruin moulders into rest. Looking like Leith see the lake, a conscious slumber seems to take. I would not for the world awake as beauty sleeps, and lo, where lies Irene and her destinies. O lady bright, can it be right, the window open to the night, the wanton airs from the tree tops laughingly through the lattice drop, the bodiless airs, a wizard's rout, flit through the chamber in and out, and wave the curtain canopy so fitfully, so fearfully, and the closed fringed lid, neath which thy slumbering soul lies hid, that o'er floor and down the wall like ghosts the shadows rise and fall. O lady dear, hast thou no fear? Why and what art thou dreaming here? Sure thou art come, O far off seas, a wonder to these garden trees. Strange is thy pallor, strange thy dress, strange above all the length of tress, and all this solemn silentness. The lady sleeps, O may her sleep, which is enduring, so be deep. Heaven have her in its secret keep, this chamber changed for one more holy, this bed for one more melancholy. I pray to God that she may lie for ever with unopened eye, while the pale sheeted ghosts go by. My love she sleeps, O may her sleep, as its lasting so be deep. Soft may the worms about her creep, far in the forest dim and old. For her may some tall vault unfold, some vault that oft has flung its black and winged panels fluttering back, triumphant o'er the crested piles of her grand family funerals. Some sepulchre remote alone, against whose portal she had thrown in childhood many an idle stone, some tomb from out whose sounding door she shall ne'er force an echo no more. Thrilling to think, poor child of sin, it was the dead who groaned within. Now that is creepy, isn't it? It's creepy, gothic, and he's obsessed with death of somebody there. But I like it. So, without further ado, I think we'll call it a night. Don't have nightmares, folks. Bye.